Hello, hello, welcome to another stream. I done only just a little bit touch ups for this one in the background. I haven't really done much aside from that. I've done just some other art studies which I haven't streamed or anything. So basically what now I want to do this time is get some more coloring in the fire, but mainly determine the lighting that would basically come from the fire, which is gonna affect her face, this part. All the way around. It's gonna affect her clothing as well. I just need to figure out how I want to go about this, really. Because I also didn't actually do her dress, right? Is that the dress? Yeah, that is the dress. Okay, to rename some of these layers, make it easier to move around. Okay. This is, yeah, eyes, okay. What was this one? Oh, that's the fire. Okay, fire. Fire. Cool. So, I still didn't actually finish. Her dress here has a little line that goes center, which is a different color than the rest of the dress. So, I was probably thinking like something like lighter blue than it already is. Probably be something. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so lock all of these in. So it's not gonna go out of its layer that I have placed. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is like a nice gentle blue. I think it would fit well to the dress. Mm. Blue is such a nice color, honestly. Like even like when it's more greenish than bluish, stuff like that. It's just a pretty color. Also, I wonder if our perception of colors or our eye receptors would develop differently if our atmosphere wasn't blue. Like if it was red most of the time and then sometimes it was blue. Hello Mia, hello, welcome. I wonder how different it would be. Like maybe we'd still have all three rods for colors in our eyes, but maybe we wouldn't have it developed in the way we have currently. That'd be pretty interesting. I mean, pictures of Mars from was it Rover or Curiosity? I don't know, one of those, or I don't know if it's the same. Is it the rover called Curiosity? I don't actually follow too much on the names. I just know that the pictures from Mars look kind of like a desert over here, just a bit more brighter, like as if the sun is right above or something like that. So it doesn't look too different, I think. But then again, it also doesn't mean that the atmosphere is different, you know? I wonder. Because like if mostly if we had, I guess, red tint all the way back instead of blue because of the atmosphere, it would definitely like change stuff up, wouldn't it? I mean, it makes sense, right? Plus, I mean, you know, some animals can see other colors as well that we apparently cannot perceive, like shrimp. Shrimp. I wonder what kind of colors they see. That also kind of reminds me of that meme that I kind of saw a few more times when it's like, this is what we see, this is what humans see, and it's like both of them are the same. And then somebody's like, who the fuck is we? Who the fuck is we, OP? Which is a valid concern, I think. This one here could probably be a little different. That's do something like this. Or like, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things we can't really experience, I think. Which is, I mean, both a shame and on one hand. It's like, damn, I want to see what these shrimp see, bro. But on the other hand, there's like a bunch of animals that can't experience what we can experience. I forget exactly which colors dogs can't quite perceive like we can. They got good smell though, right? It's pretty interesting the way like everything evolved. Especially like some very specific ways that things evolve to survive a certain climate, like plants or something. And then when somebody takes that plant that like struggled really hard to survive in these harsh climates and puts them in climates that are basically optimal for their survival, they're way easier to adapt to said new environment, and then they become an invasive species. Because they're like, okay, I don't need to struggle for survival with the harsh conditions I was evolved to be in, because all of these conditions are perfect for me. It's kind of... I wonder, you know, that makes me think, I wonder if there's a planet that's perfect for conditions for humans, you know? I mean, obviously, we kind of adapt in many different ways than just biologically, right? But if we didn't adapt in a way to like wear warmer clothes or, you know, build shelter and stuff like that. I mean, obviously other animals also build shelter, but I mean more like complex things. Like machinery and I don't know. You know, like normal human can't really survive like all the way somewhere in cold parts of Russia, right? Or Canada or I don't know. It's not really, but we can survive in like equator and really warm areas, which are kind of like an optimal places for people. Okay, this one is bothering me. It's kind of coming out weirdly. All right. Where's that? Cool. So in that sense, like it's not like we don't have the optimal place where humans live, but through the years of evolution and everything, it's not an optimal place anymore for some other people. Like if you're very fair skinned and I don't know, you're from Norway maybe, and you go to a really hot area, you're probably gonna get your skin burned a lot, which you probably don't want to happen. I'm gonna go a bit orangey here. Let's see. Bigger one for that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add the shine, not the shine, I mean it is shine for the fire later. So now it doesn't really look that fiery, but it will. It's going to. So yeah, I think it's kind of interesting how things evolve a certain way. I mean, and it's also, I guess, in certain cases, when we like bred dogs and stuff like that, we kind of ruined a lot of breeds of dogs. Like, I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind that everybody knows about is pugs, how they can't breathe and they barely can walk with their little stubby legs and stuff like that. Yeah, well, if we're naked, we can survive, like, in really warm climates. And we can also survive without tools, I suppose, but, like, if there are necessarily no big predators, but it's more like we evolved from a common ancestor that also learned how to use the tools and stuff like that, you know? And it's not like there aren't places we can survive naked. We wouldn't get sick or anything. Especially in like some places in Africa that are really warm. Stuff like that. But it's like it's kinda like hard to look at it separately. It's because it's all kind of, how do I say, collective way that things evolved. They're not really, we can't be like, okay, we wouldn't be able to survive this specific thing. Well, no, but at the time when we didn't need to survive a certain specific thing, but now we have developed ways to survive some other specific things that we had issues. I mean, yeah, I mean, yes and no. Most of the time, if you get a cut, if you basically drain the blood and wash it with clean water, most of the time you'll be fine unless it's a deep cut. It doesn't necessarily mean fungus because most fungus needs some what is it called in English? Like moisture, yeah, needs moisture to grow. Like it can be warm, but if it doesn't have moisture, then it's likely not going to grow. Obviously some species will. I'm not saying that there's no fungus in like warm areas and stuff like that, but most of them do need some sort of moisture to grow. But bugs, yeah, I mean a lot of places do eat bugs. They're like, oh, they're not like ew bugs. They're like, bugs, tasty treat. Which is understandable, I mean, yeah. Ah, that's true. That's true. Those are in a lot in those places. Ah, whoops, I accidentally opened the program. Give me a second. Alright, closed. Yeah, but there are some places that are more desert-y or like less rainy that are still suitable for humans to live. But yeah, Ecuador, it's true, it does have a lot of rain and stuff. So I suppose like we're kind of like in your area, I would probably have a lot of them, yeah. But I don't know, if we take like Africa, for example, probably wouldn't have too many. I guess it depends, obviously. Africa's a big continent. It depends on what place there as well. Which is like, bro, the way things evolve is kind of crazy, to be honest. Oh, I see. Well, I mean, I guess, maybe. You just gotta, wrap it up a little and you're good, cheat. Most of the time, maggots only go into wounds that are unclean and stuff like that. The skin's pretty efficient at, like, I guess one pest that is common to everywhere would, well, not everywhere, but like I guess in the warm areas mainly, is the mosquito and malaria disease and stuff like that. But that also, humans evolved there as well to avoid it, because so if you know, so sickle cell anemia is basically your blood cells, they get a different shape. So like give me a second. So like if you have like your cells like this, normally your blood cells, now these ones are all like squished and stuff like that. They can still carry oxygen, however the ability to carry it is reduced. But what is also reduced is the ability to have malaria. which I think is really dope. That's like, and it's kind of considered an accidental mutation for humans, and it is also so mostly people who would live in Africa would have that mutation, right? Because it allows them to avoid getting infected by malaria. And so if they have, wait, on which layer is that? Is it on a different layer? It is. So, which I think is pretty dope, right? Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so like a lot of people may not even have sickle cell anemia. However, they have like one of the genes that codes it is actually the gene that gives like half the blood cells. It's kind of hard to explain it in English because I learned it mostly in my own language. So yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh wait, did I do that? What the heck? Yeah, that was here then. Alright. So if they have only like a partial mutation of the certain gene that does the sickle cell anemia, so only half of their like blood, basically half of their blood cells are the sickle cell shaped and half of them aren't, so they don't have that anemia, but they do have higher protection against malaria. That's some dope. It's dope stuff, I think. It's pretty cool. And most mutations kind of happened accidentally, you know, a lot of the time. And if they're useful, they stick around. If they're not, they don't. So that's pretty cool, I think. Okay, now. I also didn't color in her tattoos here. I gotta do that as well. Let's see, I'm gonna do that like here. Cool. I could probably make her tattoos like a different color, maybe dark red. Would be cool, I think. What'd you say? I mean, I suppose it is using tools, yeah. But like, bugs don't infest things right away. I mean, skin is durable a lot, and most people heal really quickly. So if you can keep your wound clean with like clean water, it's unlikely that bugs will infest you or infest the skin. But of course, it doesn't mean it can't happen. It also depends a lot on the cleanliness of the environment that you're in and how often you would clean said cut or wound, stuff like that. But I mean, it kind of reminded me the other day that VC said like how he doesn't know how he continued as a species after he witnessed childbirth, right? Of course, I mean, obviously I know he's exaggerating. He's not literally wondering that. But I think it's kind of like, I don't know, we're just too used to the not having, well, most people, of course there's still people who fight for survival, but we're too used to the way things are currently to understand that, oh, we are more sturdy than we think we are. I mean, I guess we are we're kind of like both are sturdy or are not sturdy, because like, you have people fall from the 10th floor and they're like fine, and then you have somebody like sprain their, I don't know, like their leg and they fall and they die. So it's like rolling a dice on the sturdy part. You can't even eat raw meat reliably. I mean, yeah, because all the way back our ancestors were like, damn, it's hard to chew, bro. Like if our ancestors decided, let's say, quote unquote, didn't discover fire or didn't discover or decide to cook things, we would probably have evolved to be able to eat raw meat with very little negative consequence, right? as there are many other animals, would probably have some stronger acid, or some animals have like bacteria in their mouth that help them digest, or there's a lot of other ways animals have evolved to eat raw meat. So I think we'd probably evolve in that direction if we didn't figure out, oh, if we cook, less people die, and if we cook, it tastes better instead of eating it raw. Which, I mean, yeah. It's just interesting. It's really cool, I think, the way things happen in general. Or like how octopuses and like things in water, like especially octopuses are really, really smart and stuff like that. Like there's so many cases of where they just trick their zookeepers, or they go out at night in the zoo and eat fish from some other tanks and stuff like that, and then go back into their own tank pretending nothing happened. It's kind of wacky, I think. In like a cool way. Okay, now I want to probably add dark and light areas here. I mean, that's true, I guess. But like if you look at our, what's it called, cousins, quote unquote, like monkeys or gorillas, or bonobo monkeys and stuff like that. Some of them are closer, some of them are obviously way further on the cousin tree. But if you look at them, some of them have evolved into eating mainly fruit, insects, and stuff like that. So they don't need to be able to hunt things with bare hands, while other like creatures like gorillas are pretty capable and strong. And I don't think even they like hunt other creatures necessarily, like so much. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what they eat a lot of the time. I think they probably eat a lot of fruit, but as well, something else. Maybe. I don't quite remember the gorilla diet, unfortunately. Alright, I don't like how that's looking. Let me figure out that better. Probably go into more purplish tones. Purplish tones always look nicer, I think. But yeah, there's like gorillas mainly are, if I remember right, they're mainly afraid of snakes, stuff like that. Yeah, see, purplish looks nicer than just like darker. What was I saying? Yeah, I think gorillas mainly are afraid of snakes because poison. Snakes are dangerous, and I think they learn their younglings as well to be afraid of snakes for obvious reasons. But I don't think, and probably some maybe other animals that they kind of counter that are predators, but I don't think they have too many of them. And I mean, there's some other animals that are hello, welcome. The elephants live in such a barren areas that they live in groups, and each individual one needs a shitload of food because they're so damn big. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They do need a lot. But I mean, I guess it's not that barren for them, probably. Oops. Ahoy, ahoy, welcome to the stream. We're just talking about animals, and we're talking about how they evolved in cool ways and stuff like that. Yeah, animals, and also animals are really, I mean, elephants, not animals. Elephants are really empathic as well, which is kind of crazy, and they also have really good memories that up to like 30 years, if not more, they can remember somebody who did them good or did them bad. And they remember, like, they have a really, really good memory, which is kind of interesting. And as far as I remember, they passed that mirror test. So, like, if an animal recognizes themselves in the mirror, they pass it pretty easily most of the time. So they can clearly recognize that the person in the mirror is themselves, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, right? You're like, chicken? Chickens are kind of weird, to be honest. Chickens are like, dinosaur decided I can't survive this big anymore. Let me lower my standards. And also, they can fly, but like barely. You know, you'd think like most animals. I mean, again, I guess it goes back to evolution. When you don't need to use something, then you use it less and less, so their wings aren't really made for long flights or anything, especially because humans are there to, what's it called? I don't think it's called exactly farming, but you know what I mean. I can't remember the word. Yeah, elephants are really, really cool. Oh wait, that's wrong. Getting a shadow under like somebody's lip is kind of always hard to determine exactly where you want it to go. I guess it also depends how big the lip is and how much shadow it's casting. But it's also going to depend on this light source that I still didn't decide, because I just want to place basic shadows first, and then I can place some others. But I mean, there's also other animals where like, it's kind of interesting how they're still not extinct. Like elephants make sure that everybody in the herd is safe, and they keep track of their young, and they, you know, help each other and stuff like that. But then you look at pandas that just sit all day, just they evolved that they have to eat so much bamboo, however you say it, like 18 hours a day, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that number, but something a lot like that, just for their basic needs, like basic metabolic needs, which is funny. It's like, yeah, and I mean, it is kind of a surprise that they aren't extinct. But on the other hand, it's like, it's amazing that they aren't extinct, like, especially because most of the time, half the time, they like sit on their young, they kind of kill them when they're born, and other half the time they just pick one young that looks healthier and more likely to survive, and then pick that one to live, right? So there's that as well, which is like, they're kind of brutal. That also reminds me, a lot of animals actually do eat their weakened young, or especially because for a panda to give birth and to carry a pregnancy and things like that takes quite a lot of energy, and they already have to eat so much to replenish energy for basic living that if they have two youngs and one of them seems weaker, they're gonna eat it to replenish that energy, which is kind of brutal. Yeah, as you said, nature is brutal. Yeah, I mean, you said rough. Sorry, I can't read. Which is really brutal. Like, okay, and that again, I guess it kind of comes into question, like, how are these creatures still alive? They need so much energy to reproduce, and if they reproduce two younglings, they're gonna eat one to replenish some of the energy used to get them. It's rough. That's why I think the zookeepers oftentimes take the second child, and they don't let the mother crush it, and they don't let it die, basically, because they want to replenish the population of pandas, right? They don't want them to kill themselves accidentally and get themselves extinct. So they like take the second one and then they nurture it and stuff like that to make sure it keeps going. Or whatever, they get a few shots at best at catching something, otherwise they just starve. Yeah, that as well, I suppose, yeah. But they can a lot of the time they don't expend energy. Like, I don't know if you like watched a lot of documentaries. A lot of times they actually give up if they're noticed. They usually go for it either when they're kind of in a crisis and when they're like, okay, if I don't catch something, I'm gonna be really hungry. It's gonna be really rough, and I need to catch something. Or they're like, okay, this is not worth it. They spotted me. I'm going to just try either a different herd or stuff like that. Which, I mean, there's also like deer population just keeps growing if there's no predators like wolves and stuff like that. So it all got its own little spot, how they evolved together or not together. I mean, yeah, it's I guess probably the one that evolves the fastest would be like bacteria and stuff like that. Or insects as well. They just do their own thing. Okay, this here will probably actually be the fiery color because it's gonna cast light here. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it like that to not forget about it, basically. I don't know if I'm loud enough, by the way. I don't know, because the mic's kind of here. It's not too close or anything. I mean, also, like, it's kind of interesting how wolves in general, like, keep the population of a lot of other... They keep, like, the ecosystem in check. So, like, there's no... They make sure, in general, their presence... At least some studies suggest that their presence makes sure that the ecosystem stays in place. Like, it doesn't... That there is no creature that gets too much... like deer that can overpopulate a certain area, take all the resources and stuff like that, that in general wolves like solve that issue. Release the wolves. So I always kind of wonder, like, I mean, wolves are very social creatures. So, and people like fluffy things, so I assume they probably thought it'd be useful to have a social, fluffy thing help them hunt, and however they went exactly about it, which I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like... But yeah, wolves oftentimes just like, they stick their tongue in your mouth to say hi between each other. But if they're like in a zoo or something, they also do it to their favorite zookeepers and the people that they know, basically. And I wonder if that's why the dogs constantly try to lick us or whatever. You know, they're just trying to say hi like their ancestors. Maybe. Maybe. I find it kind of fascinating how the cats just decided one day to be like, okay, if I'm cute enough, they're gonna let me stay. And humans are like, okay, this small thing is kind of cute. It's not big enough to be an actual threat, even though cats can do some serious damage if they're mad. There's also wild cats that are kind of similar in size. There's that one that like lives in a cave or something that I forget the name of, which is also cool. There's a lot of cool things. Alright, let me see. So maybe a little more darker here. Alright, now I will have to... hitting. Actually, I mean it's cell shading. I can just basically take the color of this and make it a little darker. It's gonna be fine. Also have to go over this tattoos too. Maybe I can be more specific with it, probably. Like that. This would be, I think, darker, so we're gonna go with the like that. Yeah. That makes it look better. Like that. Cool. Also, there's so many birds that are so weird. Like, crows are so smart. Crows and, like, ravens and stuff like that. Bro. You know how usually the insult is bird brain because most birds are dumb? Yeah, it doesn't apply to crows. Also, parrots. Parrots are really smart, too. I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, that either, I think a parrot passes the mirror test. Or some parrots do, I'm not quite sure. And they do like these puzzles meant for 3-year-olds and stuff like that. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool animals. Like I sometimes wonder like which animal would be the animal to like we're gonna ignore the number of years it would take for it to evolve enough to be able to think on its own and whatnot, right? We're gonna ignore that part. Like, but I sometimes wonder which animal would it be that would, I suppose, probably like succeed humans or something like that. I'm not quite sure what the right terminology for that would be. Because crows are really smart, but they're really small as well. They know how to use tools. They remember things. They remember people. They collect things, but they're really small. So they also have a lot of predators. I mean, I guess in cities they don't have too many, probably cats only or something. But they also mess with cats, and crows also like to play because they're bored and stuff like that. And then, but then you have the octopus that's just like, it's really smart. And it reminds me of that one meme, how like octopus punches fish out of spite. It's just like for no reason. It's like this fish right here. It's going on my nerves and I'm gonna punch it. But there's so many, like every once in a while I read how some octopus in like a certain zoo just like fucks around with the zookeepers in a certain way. Octopuses are really smart. And crows are also smart, but they both have like small brains. I think octopus has multiple brains. Is it like 3 or is that 3 hearts? I don't know. I'm not quite sure about this information with the octopus brains. I forget. Which one is it? But yeah, they're also like cool and stuff. Wait, where is that? That's over located. Okay, it's over. Wait, over here, perhaps? Alright, it's over here. Cool. Okay. So this one. Killer whales. Yeah, also, that reminds me, as well, there's so many huge animals in the sea. Is that kind of crazy? Like, oftentimes I don't really think too much about animals, but there's a lot of animals that are huge, and they're just chilling there. They're just killing. Like, how do they even get enough sustenance? And I don't know. You know. So this one goes over this one. Okay, cool. Just gonna do that. Like, obviously, there's a lot of small fish that they eat and stuff like that. But, like, yeah. Blue whale traps. Killer whales, blue whales, sperm whales? Which, I don't know which one of those is the biggest one. But some of these whales, they do be chunky, though. Like, huge animals. Which is insane. Like, and then it also makes you think, because we haven't really explored the sea too much or too deep because of the pressure. It's also funny. Another tangent, I know. I can't keep track of one thing. gotta talk about everything. It's also kind of really funny how we're exploring this space literally outside of this planet, all the way over there, trying to figure out what's there and stuff like that. But we haven't explored the ocean because the pressure is just too big at the moment, and we don't have the equipment to just explore the depths. Like this, it's also crazy to me that some fish also evolve to have, to be either bioluminescent or maybe it's not. Maybe like this side. Basically for no reason. Like, they're all the way in the depths. They barely get any sunlight, and they evolve to produce light. Like, what? That sounds like that. that's a little perfect traps, I guess, or something along those lines. It's a bruh moment, to be honest. The side of the hand would probably be the brightest, I think. I know, right? It's not even. I'm not quite sure. They especially there's that blubberfish. Is it called that? Let me just check that real quick. Like that really ugly fish. Oh yeah, it is called blubberfish. The thing about that is that most of these animals have an organ inside of them that helps them survive that huge pressure that they're under, right? And then when these fishermen basically reel them out of the depths, the organ bursts and kills them in the process, and literally rips their skin to shreds and all of that. So every time I see a blubberfish, I feel really bad for it, to be honest. I'm like, no, another one, not another one. They killed another one. Because, like, this fish just chilling, and then literally at very high speeds, they break its skin apart, break its organs, and kill it. It's like, no, stop it. Stop with the fish. It didn't do anything. You can't even eat it, so, like, stop it. But yeah. That's not crazy shit, bro. Crazy shit. And not just that, like, I had one of the subjects that I had was about, what's it called? I forgot the name of the subject, but it was basically, we were doing some biochemistry related to different animals and how they survive certain conditions, right? And one of them was about bears and hibernation. And the whole process involved in it, which of course now I forgot after I passed the exam, and it was like a year or two ago. I don't really remember things that well. The way that the whole process works is insane. It's just like, it's so crazy how things work that way. It's like, bruh, I'm not ready for this knowledge. I do still have the book, but the book is in my language and it's not in English, so I can't really grab it. I'm not about to translate it right off the bat. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, just convert all this energy, and also a lot of in hibernation, as far as if I remember right. Their blood, not blood, their heartbeat gets so low, like just enough. If it's not maybe once a minute, maybe less. Don't quote me on that. I don't quite remember, but it was really, really low, right? Their heartbeat when they're hibernating, like bears. And it's like, how is this creature not dead? How is this creature? I mean, I know how. I've studied it, but like, I can't comprehend it. I don't accept that this creature can survive this. Like, how is it? How is it not dead? It should be, with almost, with the literal minimum metabolism activity, just barely enough to make sure that the brain is functional, and it's got like oh. There's those polar bears that swim for like a month on migration. Bro, polar bears, don't even get me started on polar bears. Especially because they don't even have white fur. They have fur that's like, that, I don't know how to explain it well in English, unfortunately, but basically their fur is not white, it's black. It just has some sort of prisms, or the way the hair is constructed reflects around it, so they're not really white. They're actually black. It just reflects a lot of the surroundings, basically. I think when you look at them at the summer, you can tell that they're like brownish or something like that. I don't think I explained that well, but yeah. Which was the craziest thing that I remember learning. Like, I'm like, wait, polar bears aren't white? What the fuck? Their fur is not actually white? It's some crazy shit. Honestly, it was like, bruh, I'm not ready for this knowledge. I don't know how to handle this. These bears. And there's so many things like in Animal Kingdom like that. I mean, just like the chameleon ones. I don't think I pronounced it right. Camel. Fuck. Give me a second. Chameleon. There we go. Chameleon. The fact that their skin can change colors and stuff like that. I also never quite looked into it, how exactly it happens. So maybe their skin doesn't even change color, just reflects color or something. It's possible, but I haven't really read upon that, so I don't quite know what exactly it is. And that in those animal cases, it's like, whoop, I'm on green, I'm gonna be green now, haha. And it also does it really quickly too, relatively, I guess, really quickly. So it's like, how these animals, or like the jellyfish that can just reverse aging just cause it can, and then technically lives infinitely that way. It's like, okay. Okay, interesting. Care to share the knowledge? Not that I personally want to live infinitely. Just like, if they can reverse aging, they can probably reverse any damage as well done. I think they do. Any damage done by the aging. So there's that as well, which I think is dope. Alright. I should probably make this like wider in certain areas where it's really close to the fire. Yeah, I will. Gotta brighten that boy up. And also there's so many, yeah, spiders. Oh my god. Didn't get me. It reminds me today when I was looking for the spider sack. Oh my god, I hate it. Oof. Heebie-jeebies for the spider sack. Get away from me. Honestly, I am not surprised that there's so many people who really dislike spiders or have some sort of spider phobia, because like, how couldn't you? How couldn't you? Like, have you seen these things? Okay, tarantulas are kinda cute, but like also scary. I don't know. Is it because they have 8 legs? Is it things that have more legs are just inherently more scary? Maybe it is that. Because like, let me think of everything that has extra pairs of, I don't know, things that they use to walk and or, I don't know, hunt. Spiders 8, centipedes got too many to count. I fucking hate centipedes. Oh my god, literally the worst fucking thing in the planet. Whoever created centipedes, please, no, just throw them back, or throw them back in hell or whatever, wherever they came from. Actually, no, in hell. If I'm gonna be in hell, I don't want them there. Just centipedes are the absolute worst. Oh my god, centipedes? No. No, not the centipedes. Or what I like millipedes. Okay, millipedes aren't too weird, I guess you could say. But millipedes, I can handle them better than centipedes. But like, why so many legs? Stop with the legs. It's too many. It's too many legs for one creature to have. It's too many. Like, dial it back a little. You know, nobody needs that many legs. Yeah, lobsters and crabs are also creepy. I think, at least. Just like, and there's so many. Also, there's so many sea creatures that reminded me because you said that. That have looking like a spider vibe. Like, I don't need sea spiders. I have enough spiders as it is around me. I don't need some extra sea spiders. And there's kind of, I feel like, a lot of them, probably. That kind of looks weird, doesn't it? Let me figure this out. Maybe just color it in, right? Maybe? Well, I mean, no, that's not gonna work. We could dial it back a little more. Yeah, why does, yeah, I suppose. Oh no. No. Why is there so many sea creatures that look like spiders or some insects? That's too many. It's way too many for comfort. Leave it like edge here, a little more than an edge because there's more of it. It's kind of hard to do lighting with cell shading when it's like all over the place, kind of, I guess. Because you gotta determine it and whatever. So it's kind of hard. And I don't really do cell shading too often. I mean, I guess I do it semi-often. So. Maybe nature thinks having more legs means better survival in some way. I mean, it probably does, right? They all have more legs. Generally, nature goes out of its way to conserve energy in any way, shape, or form it can. But yeah. It was just like, yeah, this creature needs more legs. Maybe it conserves more energy because it can move faster, then it's gonna move less because it can move faster to a certain place. Food for thought? Maybe. I honestly wonder if there's gotta be some animals that have some thoughts that are kind of coherent. Like, if you could read their thoughts, so they would be kind of coherent. Maybe. And also, I kind of find it interesting that people kind of doubt that there would be aliens. Why would you doubt that? Maybe there's not aliens in our galaxy, but if we managed to be created, why, through evolution and through all the good stuff in the primordial soup and everything, there's no reason other planets wouldn't, Or maybe other planets had it and then they finished. Maybe there was somebody out there looking for us and they never found us before they died. Because we didn't reach the life stage yet. I mean, like, I always think, like, why do people think there wouldn't be aliens? Like, there doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be aliens like us, but, like, think aliens in forms of animals, Food for us? Crab legs? I don't think I ever had crab, honestly. I genuinely don't even know how it tastes like. I don't really like much seafood, but I also never had a chance to try it, so I don't really know how it would taste like. Alrighty. Do a little darker here. see. Alright, cool. Yeah, I never had crabs or shrimp or anything, so I don't really know how they taste like. Maybe they taste really good and I'm missing out. There's just not like I kind of live inland where I live. I can't really try it, even if I wanted to, without it I guess being fresh. And I would like to be fresh. If I am gonna try it at some point. With nearly infinite universe, it'd be almost impossible to not have life somewhere else. Yeah, that's what I think. Also, like even if, which I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I don't think the universe is necessarily infinite. But which again, don't quote me on this or anything. I don't actually know if this is true or not. But with how large it is, there has to be somebody else out there, right? Even if they're like an animal, even if they don't necessarily have intelligence or anything, they're out there, they're chilling, they're doing the thing. Why wouldn't they be? Yeah, listen, I forgot to add a belt on the dress. All right. It's a lot of red. I guess I could also add red there as well. Dark red, maybe just a brown belt, like a dark belt. I don't know. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder how. I mean, even people always say, "Oh my God, there's no way that certain things can grow a certain place." Like, there's so many bacteria, or actually, well, they're not bacteria, they're archaea, that grow in very extreme conditions, where you would be like, how is this thing growing on basically almost, if often not over 100 degrees Celsius, right? And this creature can do it. And there's creatures that they sent in space that can reproduce and live just fine. Wasn't there like a jellyfish that they basically reproduced in the space station? Also, isn't it kind of insane that there's a space station orbiting Earth and that there's people on the space station? That is insane to me. That's so crazy. Every once in a while I think about it and I'm like, holy shit, there's an actual people floating in space. And they're there. They're just there. Isn't that so crazy? So crazy. I think here would also, let me see. No, not quite like that. Maybe darker. Perhaps. Well, no, not like that. Like that, perhaps. Yeah, alright. This one. This one's fine. Like, they're just there. They're doing their thing and gotta be last space elevator soon. Maybe. Let's zoom to space. I wonder what they think when they're up there, you know? Like, do they, I mean, obviously they probably miss their families and whatnot. But, like, do they think, like, oh my God, there's so many people having, I don't know, doing pointless things when it's just a rock floating in space and I can see it from where I am. You know? Kind of, maybe? Maybe they're just like, ha, look at those losers down there. Look at them. Look at these boys. You know? I mean, there's probably some interviews where they talk about their experience. I don't think I've watched it. I'm too lazy to watch interviews. It's too slow for me. It's like, okay, just get to the point, bro. Get to the interesting question. This is not the interesting question. Move along. Move. But yeah. I mean, just imagine it. Going there and then coming back to Earth. And then, I don't know, seeing all the bullshit around you when you were out there. And understanding that you're so insignificant. You know? In a certain sense. Like in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, people think that normally. But, like, it's different when you see it, right? Like, when you're there present in this moment in time, and you're the one in the space station looking down on like 7 billion people that can't, like, that you can't actually see but you know are down there. That's some crazy shit, bro. It's great. I love it. I should probably make some of these shadows maybe more. This is gonna be also brighter, but yeah. And also that they keep sending things further and further away into space. And so, like, imagine humanity doesn't exist anymore, but they keep finding artifacts of our existence. That'd be some crazy shit. Probably take a smaller one for this. Let's make it a little smudgy. And Metal Gear 3. Oh, the game? Like, people keep finding... Wait, what, humanity dies or aliens find artifacts? Or both? I suppose it would probably be both if they find artifacts. It's a little too bright. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I mean, and also I also kind of find it interesting that there's so many. I mean, I right now am making digital art, and you're watching a video that's like coded and stuff like that, and there's so much of it. Like when there's no humans anymore, like there's so much content. But what if aliens can't decode it, right? What if aliens don't never find a way to access it? Never, you know. That'd be kind of depressing. But also there's so much of it that they'd never reach the end. Like they'd never watch all of it because there's so much of it. It's just also kind of funny. They'd be like, these humans were so productive. And especially because so much of content created in general is based around ourselves. Like, why are these humans so self-centered? What's up with this? What is happening? Or maybe aliens would also be self-centered, you know? They would understand it, so they would just enjoy all the content created. If they could, like, decode it or whatever. But, like, it would also be in a different language, so would they understand? Well, there's probably, like, a lot of children, like, shows and children videos that, like, teach words. So that's probably a way they could do it, right? They could be like, okay, look, this video says this, it points at an apple, this thing's probably an apple, right? And then somebody finds it in French. Yeah, but this guy says it like this. But if they reached us, they probably wouldn't be dumb, right? They would understand that, okay. It's probably different languages or something. Right? I mean, it's kind of interesting how, like, we're all so close but so far away. Lady goes to space during the Cold War and sees that there's no east and west. Oh, I see. And also, like, what if, like, aliens just find whatever we're doing boring? They're like, okay, another video about making food. Damn, this race was really obsessed with food, and yet now that this thing is delicious. I think that'd be fun. I'll need a lighter one, bluish one. It's too light. Purplish, yes. Purplish works, yeah. Nice. I mean, then again, like, if aliens arrive at a place, you know, I wonder how long it would take for them to arrive here. Like, how long would it be dead? How long? Would they find anything, like, here interesting? If they have, like, better technology and I don't know, would they be like, okay, whatever, they weren't really very advanced. It doesn't really, Or would they like think that there's like if we disappeared and they just found the robots on different planets, they're like maybe there was some robot war happening. Why is there no humans here? There's no human settlements. There's just these robots. And they sing this song occasionally when we power them up, like once a year. It's kind of ominous. I don't know what it means. Honestly, I mean, humans are very self-centered, so maybe they wouldn't care about us at all, you know? Maybe humans just think that aliens would care. Aliens would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna skip this planet. There's some annoying apes around. They just keep destroying everything. I'm just dip. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they're just kind of, maybe their homeland is near a black hole and they feel threatened and they're looking for a new place to be around for a while. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just wouldn't care. Yeah, I mean, why would they care is the real question here. I think I'm gonna make it darker here. I guess they might be like researchers or scientists in the alien race, right? Maybe they'd be interested in how life is developed in different conditions. Because that's a cool and interesting field of research, I think, personally. I'd be like, if I was the alien race, I'd be interested in that. Like, how different is the? It would be kind of funny, like, if it was completely different and like we just can't comprehend it for a long time. I mean, it took us a long time to comprehend our own, so it's not like it's unlikely. And even still, we don't fully like know and or understand our own. And a lot of people also reject it too, which is even more funny. What do you think space religion would be like? There's gotta, like, if we ever had like all the sci-fi space adventure city places and stuff like that, what kind of space religion would happen? Would they return to just worshiping black holes and suns and I don't know, things like that? I mean, I think it's likely that they could or would. Yeah. Like, I always wonder, because people don't really know exactly what happens if you enter a black hole. There's some, like, of course, theories and things like that. But, like, what if it's like a portal, basically, that's gonna zoom you in? I mean, it might be because they say that the gravity is so strong that it distorts. I mean, when I say they say, I mean scientists say. If I say something wrong, it's probably because I misread it or something. That the gravity is so strong it distorts time and space. So it's kind of crazy, I think. doesn't seem unlikely that there's something inside, but like it does seem unlikely anything going inside would survive it though. Like if it's a living thing. Like if you threw a rock inside, maybe some particles would survive. somewhere inside. What if in a different place they could use magic because their laws of physics allow them to use it at the place where they're at? Somehow works. Right. Probably do a little more under the belt. This darker. What do you mean by FTL? I'm not sure what that stands for. I think I can probably this here. Faster than light? Yeah. I mean, like, if you're faster than light, then you're technically in darkness, right? Like, the light can't reach your eye receptors, so you're, like, not seeing it anymore. If I understand that right, like, you wouldn't be able to perceive things. But what if you don't use light to perceive things, right? What if you can perceive things in different ways, maybe? Maybe then you could, like, go faster than light and perceive things around. Does that be dope? Yeah, that as well. Time traveling. It's pretty cool, I think. Like, considering all of that. I like when movies try to like their own like theories about it and stuff like that. It's kind of dope. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true or anything, but yeah. It's like dope thinking about it. I mean, it's also kind of crazy how we are effectively spinning and traveling through space, both as a planet and then both around the our sun, and then the sun is spinning, and then the whole Milky Way spinning. We're just spinning. We're like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! In space. What really happens, but we don't know, is like two massive gods just through two not Yu-Gi-Oh! Fuck, I forgot. No, not that. What's that game called that you spin? Why did I say Yu-Gi-Oh? What's it called? Oh my god. We used to play it so much as a kid. You could buy those little spinning things as well. Oh my god. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah. You like have a little machine you stack them to, and then like when you pull it, it just goes down and then spins for a while. And then you have those battles too. What was that called? What was I even doing? Which color I have? It's some crazy stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna make the fire obviously be lighter and have a shine and stuff like that, but for now I'm just doing the mostly flat coloring, and not that, as I think you can tell. Oh yeah, it's Beyblade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Imagine if like it's just like some massive creatures doing a Beyblade. Light speed is the current max speed because particles get so much movement energy that they get too fat to go faster. Really? I didn't know that. Fat boys, chunky boys. I mean, there's probably things that go faster than light, don't they? Pretty sure there are. Like, I mean, even if things do go faster than light, because you can only perceive things if there is light, basically. For humans, at least. Would you even notice things that go faster than light? Like, that's probably just the current theory, right? Like, if things go faster than light, how do you know? You can't see them. Faster than light, you're never gonna perceive them. They just zooming by you when you're just there. Just there, standing. They're standing. And it zoomed fast. You're never gonna catch it. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of crazy how much stuff about space has been explored, but them deep sea creatures, though, they be chilling out in the deep, not doing nothing. What if there's like like a creature that's really smart down, then they just see how we destroy things, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna just stay down. They're never gonna get here. They can't handle the pressure. It's too deep. There's no sun. Let's not recognize this best. You're gonna die from the aftershock. Well, I mean, true. I meant more like if you're observing something, right? I mean, obviously, like if you're observing something in space, and something's faster than light, you're probably never gonna see it, right? You can't see it because it's faster than light. It's never gonna reach you. I don't mean literally past you. If yeah, as you said, if it literally did go past you, you'd be dead. But if you're observing like a certain planet or something that's really, or different galaxy that's really, really far away, and I don't know, if it zoomed, you wouldn't know, right? Probably, I think. But you wouldn't know. Alright. I like drawing eyes. Drawing eyes always like feels nice. Feels like it brings life to the piece. Life to. Eyes to the soul. I remember when we were kids, people would constantly say how eyes are door to the soul or something like that. I know, right? Sun. 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 Like it's. I think I talked about that last time too. How like it's a huge ball of flame and it's reaching you, but it's far enough away that you just might get some skin damage. You'll probably be fine, right? Probably. I mean, some people get skin cancer, so I guess not everybody's fine. I mean, I think, was there a video that was like it would take 8 minutes for you to realize that there is no sun anymore? Like if nothing changed and just the sun, like if if the gravity wasn't fucked up instead, I don't know, you know, if the only thing that's in the equation is the sunlight, it would take like 8 minutes for you to realize that it's not reaching you, because then it would become dark. Wasn't there like a video or something like that? I feel like I remember I remember seeing that. I like the sunveil thing that catches light radiation and propels the ship forward in space. Yeah. It's hitting it. Is it using that speed? I thought it was using the gravity, the Earth, just like using it like a slingshot. I'm not quite sure that's how it works. It might be. I don't actually remember. Also, can you imagine people who came up with that? They're like, if we do it this way, it's gonna propel it out of the Earth's orbit and it's gonna free itself of Earth's gravity. Just gonna make that speed just right. It's like, bruh, which one of you crazy fuckers thought of this? Huh? Which one of you? Bruh. There's so many inventions that I'm like, somebody really thought of this. Wow, I don't even know how to process this. Crazy shit, bro. I love it. It's great. It's amazing. Yeah, if the Who was here, probably make sure to explain all of it. Whoops, sorry about that. But yeah, like there's so many things like that people come up with, and I'm like, how did you think this? How did it come to this? And even when I know how did it come to this, it's like, oh my god, this guy really thought of this. It's like, it's crazy, honestly. There we go. Yeah. Probably want to make it darker in the upper parts. Not too dark though. Did you ever see the Kerbal Space Program game? I saw some real space engineers play it and it's crazy, lol. They do some crazy math and land on Mars. I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen that. Math. Can you imagine? People coming up with math? That's some bullshit. God. It's such a crazy, I feel it's not a paradox obviously, but it feels like a paradox that people can be so smart to come up with all these things that I'd be like, oh my god, I'd literally, if you'd given me 1,000 years, I'd probably never come up with this. And then in contrast, you have some people that are so dumb by their own choosing. I'm not talking about people with disabilities. I'm talking about people who are dumb just because ignorant and choose not to do any research and things like that. It's like, bruh, the contrast. How is this possible? How? Honestly, I'm not ready for this. I don't understand. Bruh. How do these people do it, bro? Alrighty. Alright, so this is where I'm going to end it for this time. I obviously didn't still do the hair, I didn't do the horns. There's some more work on the face that I need to do. And then some coloring around where the fire is, like make it more bright and stuff like that. And then I'll see when I make it more bright how much it will affect the surrounding things as well. But for now, this is where we're at. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna stream again sometime next week. Don't know when exactly. Probably like Wednesday, sometime maybe middle of the week, not right away. But who knows? And thank you for watching. Bye!